In 1815, Mount Tambora erupted in Indonesia, triggering one of the most catastrophic events in recorded history. This eruption sent a massive plume of ash and particles high into the atmosphere, cooling the planet and causing widespread chaos. The year without a summer followed, with temperatures plummeting, crops failing, famine spreading, and diseases like cholera taking the lives of tens of thousands. The eruption even inspired Mary Shelley to write Frankenstein, as she took refuge from the unusually cold weather in Switzerland. More than 200 years have passed since that devastating event, but scientists are warning that the next eruption may not be as far off as we think. Evidence suggests there's a 1 in 6 chance of another major eruption this century, and this time, the world is far more vulnerable. Our planet is more populated, and the effects of climate change have already begun to destabilize our environment. Markus Stoffel, a climate expert at the University of Geneva, warns that the next eruption could trigger climate chaos on an unprecedented scale. Volcanoes have long been powerful forces in shaping the planet. When they erupt, they release gases like sulfur dioxide, which form tiny particles in the stratosphere that can temporarily cool the Earth by reflecting sunlight. The eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991, for example, caused a global temperature drop of about 0.5 degrees Celsius, and while that may sound small, its effects lasted for years. The eruption of Tambora in 1815, however, caused a global temperature drop of at least 1 degree Celsius. This cooling triggered disruptions in weather patterns, affecting everything from rainfall to global food supplies. But the next eruption could be even more severe. Today's world is very different from the one that existed in 1815. The atmosphere is warmer, and that could amplify the cooling effects of volcanic eruptions. As the climate warms, the speed at which air circulates in the atmosphere increases, causing aerosols from volcanic eruptions to spread more efficiently. Smaller particles can scatter sunlight more effectively, which could lead to even more dramatic cooling. Furthermore, the warming of the oceans may influence volcanic eruptions. Warmer surface waters could reduce the mixing of shallow and deeper water layers, leading to more intense cooling in the atmosphere and oceans. Even the volcanic systems themselves are affected by climate change. Melting ice can reduce pressure on volcanoes, allowing magma to rise faster, while increased rainfall, another consequence of climate change, can trigger eruptions by seeping deep into the ground. While scientists cannot predict exactly when the next eruption will occur, there are several areas of concern. Indonesia and Yellowstone in the United States are both under constant monitoring due to their high volcanic activity. Despite the uncertainty, one thing is clear. The next eruption could happen at any time, and humanity is woefully unprepared. The potential impacts of such an eruption are staggering. If global temperatures drop by even just 1 degree Celsius, it could devastate food production across major agricultural regions, including the US, China, and Russia. This could lead to widespread food shortages, political instability, and even war over resources. Economically, the cost could exceed $3.6 trillion in the first year alone. And though the cooling effects would offer temporary relief from the climate crisis, the Earth would eventually return to its pre-eruption temperatures. As we face this looming threat, it's crucial to understand that the next eruption is not just a possibility, it is a certainty. The question is not if, but when. Are you prepared? The eruption could come without warning, and the impact could be catastrophic. Cities could be wiped off the map, and global food supplies could be obliterated. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The time to act is now. Start preparing today, whether it's stockpiling food, securing shelter, or simply being aware of the risks. This is not a scare tactic, but a call to action. The volcanoes are waiting, and nature will not wait for us to catch up. Don't let the chaos catch you off guard. Prepare, plan, and act before it's too late. The clock is ticking,